Good day, my purpose driven family. We have a special treat for you. We are excited about this new endeavor. Um, I'm here with a special friend. As you all know, I'm sure you're familiar with him, PBR in the building. So, what we going to talk about today? I'm going to let you introduce it to the audience.
Oh well, we just gonna chop it up and each one teach one about the importance of both parents in a child's life.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, yeah, that's just raise awareness that the effect of not having both parents in a child life or not having either one is very detrimental. It's it's not a good outlook most of the time. Some children make it, with good environment and good background, good upbringing by whoever brought them up, but a lot don't.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like it causes a lot of depression.
Mm-hmm. So, you think depression
Let me
will.
share this.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead and share while you're sharing it.
Go, yeah, chop it up while I share it.
Yeah, while you're sharing it, as he said, he believes that it will lead into depression when one parent is missing. I can agree. I can agree to that because I mean, I've seen many people who grew up in a single parent household, and although one parent is really good, as we all know, mothers that raise their children, they do the best that they can. I mean, some of them are very strong and independent, but as I've heard many male children actually resent their dad for not being there. Although they had a good lifestyle with their mom, it's still that male figure that's missing because you have a mom, but can a mom teach you how to be a man? So that's the thing. I think a lot of
Mhm.
men may have resistance. And then I've seen another side where some men actually do better than what their father done because he's not there. They choose to break the cycle and do it a little bit better. They choose to participate in their children's life because their father is not there. But you do have that struggle of man brokenness. And single parent households has become the new norm nowadays. How many you hear a lot of people say that, okay, well, my mom raised me, or you don't really hear about dads raising their children, although they do. So it's something that's missing within that. So you can explain more as you're sharing as well. What's missing? What causes depression in a single parent household with the children?
Uh, I feel like it's only natural that both parents is involved in the children's life because that's the way it was intended.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I feel like the absence of one or the other messes with your mental, your mental thinking because you're not just the only one in the world. Like you have friends as you're growing up, and you spend a night at friends' houses. You go to birthday parties, and when you see the normalcy of what the natural order of things are supposed to be like, then you go back to your house, dad not there, mom not there, or both not there, you living with your grandparents.
Mm-hmm.
So that's when it starts, when you start to think for yourself, what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying, as a child coming up. So I think that's why America is like one of the most depressing places on earth when it's supposed to be like heaven on earth, but it can be heaven on earth to the thinking of another, but it could be hell on earth to the thinking of another, what I'm saying, of another person. So
Mm-hmm.
it's just like I call it the United States of depression. You feel me? Because even people with money, like rest in peace, Young Dog. You in Memphis right now. He was suffering from anxiety. He said his doctors, what I'm saying, said he had anxiety, but I don't think he had anxiety. I think he was suffering from just mad depression. And anxiety is like a female trait, and men don't have anxiety. They get depression or they frustrated. You know what I'm saying? Women get anxiety because if you Google anxiety, the word, and click on the definition, there's a picture, a feminine like picture for the anxiety, like, you know what I'm saying? So that lets you know that it's a female trait, you know what I'm saying? Anxiety. That's something women get because they deal with so many emotions. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
That's it. Anxiety is linked in conjunction with emotions.
Mhm.
Okay. So is frustration, but frustration is more of a man trait. You know what I'm saying? So when his doctor said diagnosed him with anxiety, I think he was just trying to feminize him as they trying to do all black men. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? But young Dolphin suffered from anxiety. He suffered from PTSD and depression. You know what I'm saying? As
Mhm.
all of us do. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I say it's very important for a man to be in his for a man or a woman to be in the child's life. Like that's why I said this the other day on Freeze Live on his Facebook. Shout out Freeze TV. Y'all go like and subscribe. He had 1,000 plus. You know what I'm saying? But I said on his live the other day, like people need to practice more plan B. You know what I'm saying? If you a female and you know you like it raw, shout out old dirty bastard, rest in peace. Ooh baby, I like it raw. So if you like it raw as a female and you like dude and you know it's a possibility you're gonna let him, finish off the way it's naturally supposed to be, then you need to tell him to bring that plan B. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Or y'all just do it, y'all just mate and breathe for 72 hours or practice like y'all mate and breathe for 72 hours and just take the pill before the time tick. You feel me?
Mhm.
Because it's both parties' fault, but I lay blame morally on a woman, you know what I'm saying? And it's not because of no reasons, but this reason. Y'all are the temple of your bodies. You are a temple. You are the one that harvests and cultivates the baby within you. So therefore, you have to let him in for him to perform his manly duties. Okay. So a man, he could just lay in the street, right? And a girl can come in, it could be a line of girls and they can just jump on him, get their business and walk on. A
Mhm.
woman, if she lay in the street, she got to take her clothes off and open her legs and invite them in. So it's a lot different for a man. A man can just walk into a wall and or bump into his pants. You know what I'm talking about. His
Mhm.
clothes don't have to be all the way off. You know what I'm saying? So men are, really like tramps. You know what I'm saying? The word tramp is really for a man. Lady in a tramp, y'all
Mhm.
remember? Because
Mhm.
people took the word tramp and tried to put it on a female, but a tramp is for a man,
Right.
a male. You know what I'm saying? So that's why Lady in the Tramp came out back in the days. But yes, I just believe that it has to be more awareness brought on that bringing a child in there into this world is not just cool or cute or a trap move. You know what I'm saying? Or
Mhm.
maybe if I give her a baby or get her pregnant, she'll stay around. Or if I get pregnant by him, he'll stay around. That's not what it's about. That's why you're supposed to. That's why children are called bastards when you have children out of wedlock, because that's what they become.
Mhm.
They become mindless little heathens. You know what I'm saying? So that's why they say have a child. Get married and then have a child, because if you get married, it's gonna be different because y'all ain't gonna separate. Y'all planning a life together. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Now people get married just for no good reason, and
Mhm.
then they have a child and they still separate, and it still messes up. That's why this is the divorce capital of the world. But
Yeah.
all I'm trying to do is with you is just raise that awareness. That's all.
Yeah. That's it. And speaking of anxiety, you brought up something new, as you would say that it's a female trait. Yeah, I can agree that we are filled with emotions, and if you are a single mother and you're raising a male child, because we're filled with emotions, we're also teaching them to act up their emotions. And I believe that the order is the man is more physical than anything. Like he's the go getter. He's the born breadwinner from the beginning of time. So he's thinking about how I'm gonna go get this. While the woman is created to take care of the household, we just think with our hearts because we carry y'all. So when we carry y'all, we love y'all from the beginning. So we're covering y'all. We were made to have those emotions, so we're covering y'all. So it's unnatural for a man not to be in his child's life, because although we're showing our children love, we're also showing the male child too much emotion, and he's missing that physical part. There's nothing wrong with him being emotional, but if he's missing that physical part, then there becomes a imbalance, because something about a male figure. Now, I could be raising my son right, and I could tell him 15 times to clean up his room. And if his daddy there and he used that authority, all he got to do is say it one time. And there's something about that authoritative figure. Like I said, go clean that room. He ain't never got to yell, and he automatically listens to his mind like, oh, I better get this room clean. And I'm looking like, dang, I told you 15 times. But the male is the one who has the authority, and that's what's missing in our households. And even the government makes it a new norm where they create this single parent household. We're gonna take care of y'all, but the man can't be there. We're gonna take care of you women and
children. You caught on, right?
And I'm just like, yeah. What's so good for y'all? What's good for you? It really hurts you, because then when they find out, if you do got a man and they find out he in there, you and your man gotta go because he ain't supposed to be in there. And the government want to be your baby daddy or your husband.
Pause real quick. Real quick, because I don't want you to stop. Just pause real quick. Mm-hmm. Why don't they have? I just want to add this. Why don't they have the program saying that the government will help you, but you have to be married?
Right. And think about
that. Okay, go ahead.
Mm-hmm. Think about that. Why? Because if you married them, that becomes anyway.
That's a perfect household. That's a perfect household.
Yeah, because if you married, then y'all ain't gonna rely on us. And if y'all ain't relying on us, then I can't get y'all to do what we want y'all to do. Okay, let's get it. Mm-hmm. And I just, it's just so important. And when I was pregnant with my son, me and his father, we was married, but at the same time, I always said in my head, for some reason, I said, I'm gonna go on birth control, after I have him. But in my head, I was thinking, because I didn't want to have kids back to back like that. So I went to the doctor, and I was young. And when you're young, they try to talk you out of having birth control, because they say, you young, you might change your mind. But I stuck to it, and I said, I feel like in my mind I need to be on birth control, not knowing that me and my child's father would actually split. So had I had a bunch of babies back to back with him, I would be unstable in my mind. And then I got a bunch of babies without their fathers in their life. That's not fair to the child. And they're going to be
unstable. Listen, mm-hmm. You just made a key point. A woman that has a child with a man, right? And then he's absent. You just said it. Most women going to be unstable in their mind. Any right woman in her right mind going to be unstable in her mind, because she know this is not the natural order of things. You understand? So guess what? By you having 5 babies, what do children do? Mimic their parents. So if you have an unstable mind, it's going to pass on down to them. And that is the problem right there. Mm-hmm. That's what we raise an awareness to, that it causes problems. And look, let's not just say that the father is absent. If the mother is absent, then the father has a different type of unstable mind, right? He might be mean. He might be angry. So now that passes on to the children. Now you got a bunch of angry little, you feel me? Mm-hmm. So either way it goes, both parents are needed.
Mm-hmm. Man and woman. Man and woman is needed. Nothing against nobody else. It took both to
make it, right? Mm-hmm. It took both of them to make it, right? Mm-hmm. See, look, we're not solitary animals. We're not solitary beings. If we were solitary, that means that there would be no marriage, okay? Any woman walking out there would be free game. Any man walking out there would be free game. The children will be born. Then guess what? By the time they can take care of themselves, they don't even deal with their family. There would be no such thing as family in solitary animals, solitary beings, solitary anything. If it's solitary, that means solitary confinement, means I don't have no friends, no family, nobody. You feel me? It's just enemies if you in my way. That's not how we was born and bred. We are a clan. We are a pride. We are a troop. You know what I'm saying? We are a society. We are a civilization. We are a community. You know what I'm saying? It takes a village to raise a child. Okay? That's another thing. Both parents have to be there and the community has to be there for the children. Because right
Yeah.
now the community is not there for the children. There ain't even a such thing as block watch no more. What happened to the neighborhood watch? You feel me? What happened to the guardian angels? Everything that was good for people and children is evaporated. So that's why we need to raise awareness to people that have children and be in their lives. If you don't want to be in their lives, stop having children, because all you doing is messing up the world, making everything uncorrectable.
Yeah.
If you keep up this uncorrectable pattern and lifestyle, then what's gonna happen? You already know. It's a cause and effect. The cause is what you're doing, the effect is the aftermath.
Mhm.
You feel me? So listen, if I'm married to you and I'm rude to you and I'm always bad to you, then that's the cause. That's gonna cause the effect of you leaving me, packing your bags and going somewhere else.
That's true.
That you gotta apply that to everything. You gotta apply that to every aspect in your life. You know what I'm saying? There's a cause and effect. If you play with fire too much, you're gonna get burnt.
That's true.
If you mess with water a lot, you might drown.
Mm-hmm.
You date a lot of women, you're gonna have a lot of babies or a lot of diseases.
Basically.
It's always a cause and
too.
effect.
And let me tell you something.
Mm-hmm.
And the disease is just not physical, but spiritually as well. You know what I'm saying? The more people that you lay with, the more of their emotions, the more of their struggles that you carry now. It's a spiritual thing. And if we're gonna talk
but that's
about
for women.
yeah.
That applies only to women. Because this is the thing. Women, sex education teaches you that a man gets off inside a woman. So he's leaving all his bad shit, mojo, bad vibes, excuse me on the word, I apologize, but bad stuff, bad vibes, bad energy. He's leaving that behind in her. Because that's why a woman is only supposed to be with one man throughout her entire life. It's hard to do with all these jerks around. Okay, so I understand that. If a woman lay down and try to figure out somebody or whatever, the thing is not to try to get a man using your body. You know what I'm saying? Women can use their mind because they have what you want. You feel me? And you have and he has what you want if he's a good man. Security, you feel me? Provider, protector, you feel me? Just everything. He's supposed to be everything. And if he's not everything, she has a right and choice to move on. So I don't blame women that lay down with multiple men one at a time. Now, if you're laying down with 5, 6 niggas, brothers at a time, then there's a problem. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Because women, we are the receiver. Think about it. I'm going to talk about physical things, biology. We have the birthing canal. Not only is it a birthing canal, but it's where you receive that's physical semen, spiritual, whatever going on with him, you get that from him. So look,
let's educate them real quick. This is a little education segment. So what you just said, right? You just brought up a point, right? Brought me to the table. So look, this is what I'm gonna place on the table. A woman, people know this. When a woman gets pregnant by a man, that man's DNA is forever in her body. And let me tell you how. Because the baby has both DNAs. Okay, when the baby is being created, the baby and the mother is sharing DNA. Well, if y'all sharing DNA, okay, who else DNA is in there? The man's. So it's in the mother. So that's what's supposed to make you even tighter. You got 3 DNAs in you: your own, your baby's, and your donor or your husband or whatever he may be, boyfriend. You know what I'm saying? So when a woman has a child with one man and then has a child with another man, what you doing? You adding DNA. You adding more DNA into your DNA. Women can't put DNA in a man. You can't. There's no way. but we put DNA in you. You feel me? So when a woman has 4 children and 3 different baby daddies or 4 different baby daddies, she has 5 DNAs in her. It don't never go away. That's why y'all so connected to the baby daddy or the child's father or whoever the case may be. You could have been a prostitute and got pregnant by a trick. You still gonna think about which trick that was, and that's gonna be heavy on your mind.
Yeah.
Men don't think about that. They don't care. They don't say, "Oh, I had a baby with a woman." You know what I'm saying? They don't care because they not. He wouldn't even be. If I was a trick and I had a baby with a prostitute and I was just visiting that town, she gonna think about the possibilities of me, but I'm never gonna think about her,
right?
Because I don't have no connection. There's no DNA for it. You feel me? So that's a point I just want to make, like an educational point. Women, when you have children by different men, the DNA is still left in you.
Yeah. So y'all, that's noted. I mean, you could look it up if you want to. It's always research, and I can always look at, if you guys want me to send it to you, I will, to get a better understanding of it. If you guys don't know about the physical DNA, the spiritual, all that, I can send it to you guys. And feel free to leave a comment of whatever you want to talk about, if you want to talk more about this as well. But I want to talk about, like, to add to, when you become a single parent, this world is already stressful. You know, it's a lot that's going on. So to have that weight on your shoulder, you're not only thinking about yourself, if you're not a selfish parent, because there's a lot of selfish parents out there that's still thinking about them, but forget about the kids. Your children, they're not a burden, but it is tough. So when you're carrying that weight alone, I raised my son, but thank God I have a mom that is awesome. She's there whenever she can. I have a support system. To God be the glory. But still, to do it on your own, don't think about those who don't got nobody, and then they got to go to work, and then they have the children to think about, and then they have their own emotional issue. It weighs on your mind. So I don't believe that when a woman says, "I can do this by myself and be okay with it," I don't think she really means that. But she programmed in her mind to be this strong, independent person. But independent, is it really good to be independent? I don't know. I just believe in being interdependent, meaning I can make stuff happen, but I need that spouse in my life or that partner in my life who's going to help me. I don't care. I can be, because I don't want to be strong on my own. I mean, I like family. I love family, and it's easier to raise your family together. Now, that's just me talking. I mean, I don't believe that women really mean it, but they have this defense mechanism of, I'm going to be independent. I'm an independent woman, don't need no man, speaking on the hurt. And then you pass that hurt on to your children. And then if you have daughters, your daughters are going to start thinking, I'm an independent woman, I don't need no man. And then you just send it on to generation. But really, it's that hurt. Or your daughter might do the opposite and accept any man in her life, whether he's good to her or not, just to have that completion, because she don't want to feel whatever her mom taught her. So she wants somebody to love her. She don't want all that toughness all the time. I don't know. But we all need somebody.
You said 2 words that stuck to me as you was dropping loves to the people. The first word you said burden. Second word you said independent. I'm gonna start with burden. If anybody's a burden, if there's a parent and a child and there's the word burden in between them, the burden is the parent. The child didn't ask to be here. The burden is you, because you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing with that child, which is giving it a fair chance and raising it right with the father or with the mother. So if anybody thinks that their child is a burden, no, you are the burden, because that child didn't ask to come here. You're supposed to be doing a duty and you failing at it. And so now you want to say the child is a burden? No, that's like God calling us burdens.
Right.
So if the child is a burden because you made the child, and if the child is a burden, then guess what? God don't say you a burden to me. Okay? But God don't say that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that right there is just wrong in itself, and at any angle that you see it or come from or aspect, I don't give a darn. But the second word was independent. You notice how they push that word independent, right? Lil Boosie and Webby came out with that so independent, and it was like I am, and they were selling it, and it blew up, and they pushed it to the masses and instilled it into all these youngsters. Well, when that song came out, the kids are now grown. When that song was popping and hot, we grown now. We adults now. And so what they pushed and instilled in our mind, and the app they instilled in us and installed in us, was the app of independency. What's independent? That's a solitary person. That means I don't need nobody for nothing. You're not independent because God is who you depend on. Your community is who you depend on. Your family is who you depend on. Your friends is who you depend on. Okay? When you get older, your children is who you depend on. So nobody's independent. So that's another thing we need to educate these people on, that nobody's independent, and stop screaming independency. Because guess what? Only thing that matters to being independent is just being independent in your own thinking. How about that? Be independent on that. Stop hearing something from somebody else and taking that in, digesting it, and then putting it on somebody else and spreading false prophecies. You feel me?
Poison. It's like poison. That's what
You know what I'm saying? Be independent in your mind, not in your physical, and not in your spiritual, because ain't nobody independent. And that's a solitary individual, and we are not solitary individuals. Y'all on cap. Everything is cap now. I'm independent. No, you're not. You was dependent all your life. You depended on the education to give you education. You depended on the government to protect you. You depended on your parents to feed you and clothe you. Stop playing.
Right. Speaking of solitaire, y'all, I had a little thought. Think about it. When someone is in prison and they're acting up for whatever reason, or they can't be in control, they send them to a solitaire. Is it solitaire confinement? And
yes, ma'am.
Even the baddest of the baddest criminal, when they get sent there, I don't care if it's a week, I don't care if it's 2 days, they say, I don't ever want to go back there again, because they leave you alone with your thoughts. So think about you saying that you're independent and you want to be alone like that. You're left alone, and that's easy access to whatever spiritual battle that may be going on. Now you don't have nobody to that you can rely on. Now you don't have nobody there. And one thing the enemy wants to do is to have you alone in your mind, thinking, seclude you from the rest of them, right? So that you can they can attack your mind. And especially if you're the type of person that have children, when he attack your mind, then you become physical with your children, and now they got to feel whatever anger or whatever issue going on in your mind. Is it really fair to them?
Passed on. It's passed on. Anything a child sees is passed on.
Right. And if your child, think about the mothers who have children with disabilities, they're not able to explain what's going on. So that's a spiritual battle within themselves. So if you're a mother that has different issues and you're alone by choice because you want to be for whatever reason, then you have this child that you have to raise. And then you become frustrated with them. You become frustrated with them and you don't know how to handle them. So now this child is suffering because they can't explain what's going on in their mind, and all they see is you. And now they go through this depression and it just keeps going on and on and on because you want to be so independent. I want to be alone. I don't need nobody. We all need somebody. Even if nobody is in your life by choice, we all need somebody.
Check this out, Sister Queen. If you notice that independent song that blew up so graciously and heavily. You remember that song? They played that song in every club and on the radio. That was the most biggest song. That's why Boosie got who he was, became who he was. That was his chart breaking song. So look, who was it targeting though? Women, right? Women. So all these little girls that fell in love with that song and that idea of independency, right? They grown now. And all they say is, I'm independent. I got my own house. I got my own job. All that do is add more stress on you, because guess what? First of all, you're not independent because you depend on that job to be up and operating. You feel me? Because any job you work at, that's who you depend on. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? They depend on you to come in and punch in the clock, but you depend on them to be still up and operating. So you're not independent. Okay. If you have money growing out your ass or in your backyard on trees, then you are completely independent. But then you're still depending on the tree to make the money. So in all our reality, ain't nothing independent on this earth. Let's talk about the earth and oxygen. Let's talk about the oxygen and the carbon. You ain't independent. You need oxygen. You need the tree. Nobody's independent. So stop thinking you independent. Be independent in your mind. But all that does to a woman, right? When she's independent, I got my own job, I got my own house, I got my own car. All you doing is stressing yourself out because you have nobody to share the burden of life. Life is a burden if you think about it. All right. The only burden on this planet is living. You feel me? Okay.
Mhm.
So now your independent ass is out there with your house, your car, and your job, right? You still
Mhm.
have woman needs. You still
Mhm.
need the physical touch of the male human being. So now you so independent, you just dating men as they come and go.
Yeah.
Okay. So what does that do to your psychologics, right? Your independent woman, it messes you up even further because now you be in touch and these men are putting their souls inside of you. You're taking the plan B or you're using protection. But guess what? Once they touch you, they physically you they hands are like a physical imprint on
Mhm.
your mind because guess what? They're touching your body. They have to climb on you. They have to get you ready for them to engage in intercourse or the celestial dance. So it's a
Mhm.
lot that the woman have to get ready for. You know what I'm saying? If she's not ready, then it's called force or rape. You know what I'm saying? So we all know
Mhm.
that. So women have to get ready. You know what I'm saying? They just can't be dried up and you know what I'm saying? They got to get ready. Emotion, the emotions, the physical, you know what I'm saying? The mental, everything. It's not just easy to perform the celestial dance.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is like being independent is not really cool or at all. That means you're
It's not.
solitary, like she just said. That means you're by yourself. It drives a person crazy. And that's what you're doing to yourself when you think you're so cool being independent with your job, house, and car. Okay.
Mhm. Yeah, and
Without
think
a
about
man.
yeah, and think about the people that don't have nobody in their life to actually express what's going on. Depression. Speaking of depression, I'm better, but I still deal with depression every now and again. And sometimes it's some people that you would not even know that actually deal with depression. They look nice, they smile. That's sometimes the most depressed person is the happiest person in the room. And some people know how to
Mm,
put on that persona for whoever's around.
I wouldn't say
Um,
that. That's the first time I
what
disagree with you. I
not
wouldn't say
fake,
they're the most.
not fake, but they know
I
how
wouldn't say they're the
to.
most happy. I wouldn't say
What?
they're the most happiest in the room, but
Yeah.
I see what. Listen, I kind of get what you're saying, like, cause
Mm-hmm.
like, let me tell you from my opinion, my experience. This is what I mean. I like I am mostly always the most happiest person in the room
Mm-hmm.
whenever we anywhere. I'm the class clown. I was the class clown. I always wanted to make happy. I'm not a clown, but that's what they categorize it as. But I was just a person that liked to see people laugh and we
Mm-hmm.
make them happy, even if I didn't know you. Like I was the type of dude in class, right, in eighth grade, ninth grade, like the most unpopular person in my class that no one ever spoke to, right? Never said she was probably fat. He was probably fat. Wore glasses. You know what I'm talking about? The uncoolest person in all my classes. I
Mm-hmm.
spoke to them. I sat next to them. I made them laugh. I made them a part of my life. I made people recognize them. So now when they come in, and I used to see when they every time they came to class, there was a smile on their face, like there go my man's, there go Larish. Larish cool as hell. And when I seen him walking through the hallways or, what I'm saying, in the cafeteria, I would walk up to him, talk to him, engage with him because guess what? I was the most popular cat at school.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? I was Parker Lewis. I've never been a dud. I was popular since second grade. First grade, I wasn't popular because it don't start yet. I've been popular since second grade. I was the guy. Third grade, fourth grade, fifth grade, sixth grade, all the way to graduation day. I was the king at every
Mm-hmm.
school I went to. So I engaged with the less fortunate individual. You know what I'm saying? I engaged. That's because that's the right thing to do. You feel
Mm-hmm.
me? So that's the type of person I am, and that's the type of character I have. You feel me? So
Now to add
all
an
I want to
objective
do
to
is
that,
just,
I'm going to add an objective to that. So you have the gift.
yeah,
You have the gift of making people laugh. There's plenty of comedians who
yeah,
know how to make people laugh. Jim Carrey, Robin Givens. I love that. Robin Givens,
hmm
rest in peace.
but
They
they
have the
very
gift.
depressed people.
Okay, so
They're
that's what I'm
very
saying.
depressed people.
But they were considered the happiest people in the room, right?
Yeah,
Because
that's what
they
I'm
were
saying.
able to
But
make
yeah,
people laugh.
that's why I said I had to kind of like agree with you, but
Mhm.
disagree with you at first. But that's what I was saying. Like, I'm one of the most happiest people in the room, but I am. I feel like I am one of the most depressed people at the same time. But see, my depression doesn't. It's different when you depressed about yourself and what you don't have and what you never experienced and what you've seen other people have and experience, what women you never touch or whatever. That's a different depression. You in self sorrow. That's your own fault. Okay. Whatever you didn't experience, whatever you didn't have the ambition to go get out and get it. Okay. There's bosses and then there's workers. There's farmers, then there's cattle. You feel me? Are you want to be a farmer? Do you want to be cattle? So
Mhm.
most people, it's not that you was born to be a cattle, but that's just sometimes that's hey, listen, there's pawns, there's bishops, there's knights, there's kings, queens, like there's always an order of things. But you don't have to fall in that. It's what's in your heart. So if you don't desire to be a king or bishop or knight or you know what I'm saying, you just want to be a pawn, that's okay. There ain't nothing wrong with that because you still play a part. You feel what I'm
Mhm.
saying? So people need to get it out their mind that whatever position you in, it don't work or whatever. I'm depressed about that, but my depression derives from other people's pain. You feel
Mhm.
me? Like one of my most severe depression attacks is my mama. You know what I'm saying? My children. The subject we on. I had a lot of children that I didn't help raise in the same house. You know what I'm saying? They know of me, but I wasn't raised. I wasn't there 24/7. It takes 24/7. You feel me? Like so that gets me a lot. You know, that's why I said let's talk about that because I'm really just sitting on your couch talking to you, getting some straight into the viewers, just being real and letting them know, like, yeah, I suffer from depression because of things that I can't do for others, my children. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't be there 24/7, which they deserve that. You know what I'm saying? They deserve
Yeah.
that no matter what. So that's why I'm a firm believer in talking through experience that it takes two to make a
Yeah.
good thing right. You feel
Yeah.
me? It takes two to make
Definitely.
a good thing right. You feel me?
Mhm.
They wasn't talking about sex. They were talking about making it right with your child.
Yeah.
Okay. You feel
Yeah.
me?
There was mom to piggyback off what you're
So
saying.
there's some truth into that. There's some truth into
Yeah,
that. Like
very much
some of the
so.
most depressed people is the happiest people in the room. You know
Well,
what I'm saying? Because I'm
they
very
know how to,
depressed.
yeah, and they know how to put on that smile. Not, they just
So
adjust to going on. Yeah,
I take back my disagreement. I agree now.
yeah, yeah. You're
You
like,
see how apex that was?
yeah, you may not feel happy on the inside, but you know how to give others that joy. Gifted, yeah, they're very gifted people. The most gifted
Yeah,
people is
yeah.
Jim Carrey talked about it as well concerning his parents. He said the only thing he knew how to do when his dad was going through a depression was to start making jokes. Then his mom fell ill,
Hmm.
and he started, doing that. And then he said, "Let me make this a career because I see that I can make my parents happy. I'm not worried about the world, but they smile as long as I'm making them laugh." But I found myself deteriorating because something on the inside is missing. I'm concerned about you, but my mind is starting to go low because there's something mentally, physically that's missing within me. They forgot about me.
Hmm.
And Jim Carrey's he about 60. And he said, I feel like in my life I gotta think about I'm not able to talk to people because they every time they see me they want me to make them laugh or they want me to be the funny guy, but when the funny guy is sad, all of a sudden there's something wrong with me. People don't know how to handle me. Like he went through that stage. And there's many people that aren't able to express that side of them. A comedian also said, he got a nice home. A comedian here in Memphis, he has a nice home.
Very independent,
And
right? Very
yeah,
independent.
this is the
An
guy.
independent man, huh?
Yeah, yeah, he
You
have
know, but
everything
look,
going on with him. And then he said, "But what?"
hey, but he hurt. He hurt. Independent and hurt. Come on, man.
He
Stop
said,
pushing
"But
that
when I come
independence. But go ahead,
home,"
Queen.
we said, but when I come home, I'm making y'all laugh. I go to the grocery store, it don't matter. I'm making y'all laugh. But when I go home to these four walls, Nobody's there. So I'm stuck with my thoughts. And I can't, and then when I say I'm sad, y'all make it into a joke, but I'm really going through something in my mind. Like, I don't got nobody here that I can express that to. Who can understand my depression? So that's why I said we all, and then there was a mom, not too long ago. She was discussing, she had, I think 2 children, a baby boy too. And she said, I was talking to my baby's father and I asked him if he can get the kids. At least this one time I really needed him. I'm used to him saying no, and we would argue, but this time I said it calm, like I need him. And he said no for the last time. So this mom got in her car and she said her mind was hazy and she ran her car into a semi truck. Because she said, the only way to end this pain is to leave this world. But she left this message and said, do not leave my children with their father, because if he couldn't be there while I was alive, I don't want him to have them when I'm gone. That was her last message. And people started, some people started blaming this mom, but I said, you got to understand that depression is real. Nobody wants to do this on their own. Although they do this on their own. Think about other moms that's going through what she went through. And that also saved a bunch of moms' lives. Like, okay, I got to talk about
But when you think of it, when you think of other moms, make sure you think in millions. Okay, yeah. so you can reach the finality of how serious the situation is. Go ahead, Queen. Go ahead.
Yes. And when I read that, but I saw one comment. Homegirl said, "You selfish. You got kids. How dare you take your life and go away from your kids?" Now I said, hold on. This mom said her last dying words was, don't give my kids to their father, because if he wasn't there while I was alive, I don't want him to have them because he don't love them. I want my kids to be safe. That doesn't sound like a mom who don't care about their kids. This is a mom that's going through pain internally. And that, that depression got the best of her, and her mind is like, let me have peace. Peace is leaving this world. Don't blame her for that. It's more than one. It's a lot of people that's going through that. I fight depression. I used to think about it a lot with my child's father, but the only thing that's keeping me is because I got my parents here, my siblings to come. That's the only thing that keeps me. But there was a time where I was completely alone, and I would sit there and like in the dark sometimes and just let my son watch TV, and I would just sit there like, dang, am I good? Like, why is it that how can you go on about life not worrying about your son? I never gave his father a hard time. Never did. You would go for years, a year or two without calling your son, or you try to call him on the holidays to do a FaceTime, and that's just it. But you're not a part of his life physically, so that's tough. And then I used to think like, dang, what I'm going to tell my son? Like, I don't want my son to feel rejected, but but that made me think I'm gonna be the best mom I'm gonna be. But I see as he's growing, he need that male figure in his life, because there's a difference.
See, look, people got to understand. Listen, people got to understand. Depression comes not only after you, but it comes after generations. It can become a generational thing, okay? And families need to talk about depression with their children. The thing is that people morals have went all out the window, like the one behind me. The morals are all out the window. There used to be a time when morals was valued. Families would get together once a night, maybe once a week at night, and just chat and talk about what's going on. Hey, this is what I'm going through. Mom, what you dealing with? Son, what you dealing with? Daughter, what you dealing with? And they all give each other advice and they talk about it. Usually it's the head of the household that gives the advice, but sometimes the head of the household, like you said, needs help. Jim Carrey, I'm pretty sure he was the head of his household, but he also needed help. So I think it's a round table effect, you know what I'm saying? Not a mob table, because a lot of people like to sit at the mob table where 1-2 people are in charge and the rest on the line have to listen. The round table represents equality. You know what I'm saying? Roundness is always a circle, the globe, it's a ball. Balls represent equality. You feel me? A ball can touch everything. If you throw a square and some dice out there, it's only gonna go so far. You feel me? But if I roll a ball, that ball gonna eventually touch somebody. You feel me? Especially if I'm on the hill. You feel me? So what I'm trying to say is depression. First of all, it affects you if you don't have both parents. Okay, let's say we already discussed that what happened, the cause and the effect of not having both parents. We've discussed that already. Now let's say you had both parents, the perfect upbringing. You survived that first depression. You know what the second depression is? Finding the love of your life, finding your best friend, your companion, someone that will be there to rub your shoulders, someone that you can rub her feet. You feel me? Someone that you can get intimate with and be in love with and wake up and appreciate. That is the worst form of depression once you survive the first one. The second one is more deadly. You feel me? It's levels to this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That first depression was level 1. Level 2 is the second depression. Okay? And if you don't get either one, say you didn't never get the first one and you ain't got the second one. But now your mentality is in shambles. Now your mental capacity is just all messed up. Made me want to cuss on here like I'm on the EBH Black Show or something. The Powerball Rich, the co-host. That's me, y'all. That's me. I'm the co-host from the EBH Black Show. But
yeah, he is. Yeah. Man, y'all need to go over there and watch it sometimes when they do decide to go
Shout
live
out
again.
EBH Black.
God,
Shout out EBH Black.
I'm gonna put it in the comments as well. But don't you guys know that I think depression is the number one cause of suicide. It could be, because depression can lead to people using drugs. Depression can lead to alcohol abuse. The thing about it is some people will use alcohol or drugs to numb the pain. But it is the number one cause, and a lot of times people can't handle it. Like daily, you would be surprised. Some people just getting by. I've seen in the spiritual world, going to church and all that. There's been pastors that's been talking about them suffering from depression. Like they say, y'all don't know the weight that's on our shoulder. Like to take on y'all burdens plus our own is a lot, and at times it messes with them mentally. And it's a lot of John Gray. He expressed that he sat there one time because the people that was supposed to be with him in the church actually came against him because of the situation in his marriage. Now, the time when the pastor needs y'all to hold his hand up, y'all pulling him down, antagonizing him. He stepped out or whatever, and you guys really was ready to put him down in the grave. And he sat there, and he said he sat there and thought about taking his life. But then he decided to go to church. And then T.D. Jakes, thank God for him, and listening to God, decided to give him a hug and pray for him. Say, I heard that you was trying to take your life, but I'm here for you, and I'm going to hold your hand. It took that moment for him that's the reason why he's alive today. Somebody said that they care. But the thing about it is, as a leader, when so many people try to put you on a pedestal, it's hard to be a leader. It's hard to be a public figure. It's hard to be anything like that because now the world is looking at you, but they're not realizing that you're human. You're human. They don't want you to be human. They want you to be, Superman or something. But you got to realize when the higher you are, the higher your call is, the more responsibility that you have. And the spiritual battle is greater the higher you go as well. So I don't know where that came from, but mentally, I'm just describing different things, but it's a lot to deal with. And I said that because we need at least one person. It don't matter who you are. You could be the Pope. You could be the president of the United States. Everyone needs somebody to be there that actually get you. Pray for me. You don't got to know me. Pray for me. If I come across your mind, pray for me. Or be there for me as well.
And first and foremost, you know what I'm saying? This show this morning by Purpose Driven Inspirations. The topic is about like, are both parents needed? Yes, indeed. We just proved that. So if both parents being there, she was talking about depression. If both parents ain't there, some depression starts early. If both parents are there, then depression is not going to be not so bad if you got the right kind of parents. You feel me? Like they'll keep you busy with activities, sports, or whatever, hobbies. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of stuff to keep a young child distracted, you know what I'm saying, with positive activity. You know what I'm saying? When you do a lot of stuff like sports or Boy Scouts or something, you associate with other people. You know what I'm saying? So you get to, and pretty much people that play sports, not all, but people that, their parents are there. Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, both parents are usually involved. You know what I'm saying? Camping trips, both parents are usually involved because that's like the setup that is. You know what I'm saying? If you a child that never been to camping or Boy Scouts or never played sports, you had some different kind of parents if they was both there, but most likely they was not there because I don't know. But parents need to keep their children in activities that they both there. Depression it don't have to stem from not both parents not being there or one parent not being there. You can have both parents and still develop a depression. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But that's why you have to keep them involved with activities and other people. That's why this world is a socializing world. Like, you know what I'm saying? Everyone is supposed to know everybody. Nobody's supposed to be a secret. Nobody is supposed to be your enemy. Everyone is supposed to be neighbor because once you live in a neighborhood, your neighbor is next door, your other neighbor is next door. Then their neighbor is their neighbor, everyone is connected. This is a giant entity of connections. This is like man, I don't know what to say, but this is a connection. This is all energies and vibes being transformed and passed on. So like we need to come together as a community. So you can have both parents and not develop that depression, but if you're not involved in your community or socializing, you can develop a different depression. And like Chicago, right? The reason why Chicago is so messed up right now, okay, is because the children that are on the street killing each other, their parents was taken off the street and put in prison. So they all end up going to stay with their grandmothers. You feel me? Or they didn't have one or the other parent. So now what you have is a bunch of children growing up in depression, right? Okay, and they angry. Okay, they in poverty as well. So what they find socially activities, what social activities they find to do is band together and become this gang. Okay, well you made gang banging popular, so now they gang banging and now they start shooting each other and killing each other. Those guys are suffering from PTSD and depression because they losing their brothers, sisters, and family. Right? They losing their best friends. People they grew up with, they killing other people. That you can get depressed about that too. You might be a killer with 10 bodies, but guess what? You can't sleep right at night. Trust me, I'm speaking from experience. Okay, you don't sleep well at night. Okay, you're not that much of a demon. There ain't nobody a cold heart demon like that. You're gonna have sweaty nights. Okay, so with all that being said, right? I'm this child that grew up without my father or my mother. I'm in the streets of Chicago. I'm killing, losing friends. I'm gang banging. What she said is they turned to drugs. So now in Chicago, all those kids are on Percocets, they on downers, they on lean to deal with to escape the reality that they created. You feel me? So now they so depressed, they think about suicide. She said that. But in Chicago, you don't have to kill yourself. Okay, if you a top shotter and a top hopper, if you depressed, all you gotta do, and this is what happens. I can show y'all some cases. Some real killers in Chicago walked outside and knew the people was gonna kill them, and it's instead of suicide by cop, it was suicide by op. I'm gonna say it one more time. Instead of suicide by cop, it was suicide by op. Them boys is out there depressed. They don't want to live no more. So what they do? These is killers. They got 30 bodies, 10 bodies. They go out there and sacrifice themselves.
Wow.
I know several cases. I study that Chicago stuff so much because those are my people. And I want to understand why are they dying by the abundance the way they are. You feel me? Right. They're dying by the boatloads. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I got into that Chicago shit. Excuse me, the Chicago stuff to see what's wrong with my people out there, and I figured it out. Okay, depression.
Yeah,
that's what's going on.
And as I looked up the meaning, I was looking up the meaning while you was talking to agree with what you were saying. The meaning of depression in general, because there's different types of depression, but the main meaning is a state of low mood or low activity. So to piggyback off of what he said, you got to get out, because when your body physically is not moving, it's going to attack itself. because it's missing that
Mm-hmm.
physical activity. And you know what I'm
Each
saying? So
one
if
teach one.
there's a lot of bedridden people that end up in that depressed state of mind because now their body is not physically moving, so that mind begin to play tricks on them, like, oh my God, because they're simply not moving around. So it's very important to go out there and to do physical activities, but not only do physical activities, but you got to eat right too. You got to watch out
Mm-hmm.
for your sugar intake. Now, y'all, I'm gonna keep it honest with y'all. I deal with depression, but I also, from when I was a young girl, from experienced traumatic experience. I thank God for my mom. She's so open minded, and she introduced me to a positive mood pill. Called St. John's Wort, and she said, Amy, I think you should take this. It's gonna put you in a better mood, and it's gonna balance your mind. And I didn't have to be on
Yeah.
Ritalin. I didn't have to be on nothing like that. But it's a natural supplement, y'all. If y'all want to take it, it balances out your mind. Anybody that have mood swings, whatever the case may be, I'm not a doctor, but that really helps. Don't be afraid to go to a natural doctor. And the
Yeah.
natural doctor can
Mm-hmm.
help you with different things. There was and a nutritionist. A nutritionist will actually direct you to the meals that you need. A lot of people have become vegan because of meat go against their body as well. So they become vegan because of they could have a heart condition like my brother. Only like I can't remember the percentage of his heart that works, so he can't have certain food. Like he's a young man, but only a certain percentage of his heart works, so he became vegan. Took that out of his diet completely. My mom as well. She ain't vegan, but she's pescatarian. The only meat that she eats is fish. So I
Uh-huh.
also encourage you guys, try drinking a lot of green smoothies. I'm telling you, it will boost your metabolism. It will mentally it will help
I buy
you.
those from my mom. I get those from my
Yes.
mom.
Yes, I'm telling you, because y'all will be surprised. A lot of these mood swings and depression come from what we eat as well. If you have too much sugar intake, that can really, first of all, you can get diabetes. Secondly, you can have you could be over hyper, whatever the case may be. It can just go against your body. Your body is not supposed to have too much sugar intake as well. But that's just a minor thing. I don't know what a lot of people's body ailments are. I'm not a doctor. I'm just telling you guys what worked for me as well. Like with me, I took a lot of. I know that I don't need to have a lot of sugar in my diet because of my mood and all that. I keep saying that I'm a I ain't even gonna lie. I tried to be a vegan, but I'll probably be a vegetarian because it takes a lot of
Yeah.
dedication to be a vegan, but it works.
Well,
I go on
let me
a
tell y'all something. Let
mhm.
me tell y'all something. You're not supposed to just eat. You're not supposed to be an herbivore, or you wouldn't have canines. We have sharp teeth. We have four sharp teeth for a reason. Okay, you're supposed to eat a little bit of meat. You don't not all the time, but you're supposed. It's supposed to be
Fish,
like a look.
fish.
This is. Y'all want to hear the perfect diet? Y'all want to hear the perfect diet? Listen, forget everything you heard. I came up with this myself, and I do this, and it makes me feel good and throughout the day. I start off with fruit for breakfast. Eat
Okay.
nothing but fruit. I mean, oranges, bananas, grapes, all fruit, nothing but fruit. I mean, get fat off of it. Get till you can't till you pop. You be like, damn, because we all know fruit not gonna sustain you all day, and it's not gonna give you no weight, but it's gonna give you all the natural ingredients of health that you need. Right? Better than taking pills. Then for lunch, because you're gonna be hungry again, hella hungry, because all you ate was fruit. Now you eat nothing but vegetables. Okay, nothing but vegetables, broccoli, whatever, some salad. You know what I'm saying? Whatever the case may be, just nothing but vegetables, tomatoes. You feel me? All vegetables, onions, all that shit. Right? Excuse me. Then by dinner time, you can eat all the steak, lobster, whatever you want, candy, whatever, because you didn't digested everything good for you in the morning and early in the day. So your body is straight now. You can have that pork, swine, whatever y'all eat, or steak, lamb, turkey, any all kind of meat, and you don't have to eat nothing but that because you already ate vegetables for breakfast. No, fruits for breakfast, vegetables for lunch. Now you can eat all the meat. You can eat the whole cow if you want to. You know what I'm saying? But that's how a diet is supposed to be. Like you're supposed to eat all three of them.
Now, that's an option for those that want to be vegan. There's things that there's actually plenty of peanuts and all that can give you protein that you're missing from the animal as well. Vegan, those people that need to be a vegan for the health wise, there's plenty of plants and fruit. I got the recipe, honey. I know. But the thing about it, Adam didn't even eat meat like that. So if it was fish, what do you think they ate? So who says that we need meat? I ain't gonna be no.
Well, I'm just saying. I'm just talking about the physical design. I'm talking about the physical design of our body. We have canines. You have 4 pointy teeth. We don't have flat teeth like a cow. You feel me? Don't. That's what I'm saying. We're gonna do it right, and we're gonna like we do at the EBH Black Show. Powerball Ristico. Shout out to EBH Black. Like and subscribe to the channel, man. He going up gang. You feel me? But what I'm saying is that don't forget about the physical design. Never see people want to just you can't just make up your own mind because God gave you that mind and God gave you that body. Okay, you got to make the right choices. Yeah. Don't be making your mind up and thinking when you make the right choices. You have canine teeth. You have pointy teeth for a reason. That's to shred through meat.
Yeah, you're right.
If we had cow teeth, then guess what? I would only eat apples. And if we had horse teeth, horses eat apples. You feel me? If we had like even gorillas, right? Even look, this is funny. People when I was younger, people used to say bears. I was taught in school that bears was only eating berries and honey and fish. Well, come to find out, bears like to hunt deer too. And if they hungry enough, they'll eat a human like me and you. They eat meat. They don't
eat humans. They'll probably like a mama bear might attack you and probably kill you, but they don't eat.
No, there's ain't purposely driven, Amy. You better get on your goddamn Google and you better go look. I know of man killing bears. Once a bear eat a human, that's why they have to kill it. Because bears have enough intellect to say, "Ooh, that blood was salty," and it had because we eat a lot of salt, and we have like our meat is like already seasoned. So that's why any animal that has experienced man meat, that's like the best meat they go, and that's what they always go after because of the addiction to the flavor. You feel me? We have a lot of salt and
so
listen. There's 2 cases I read about man eating bears. You feel me? Like they only ate, like if they saw a human, they would stalk the human and eat them. You know what I'm saying? So let me tell you this for sure. If you was in the Antarctic, right, out there studying, doing what God knows, whatever, and a polar bear saw you and it was hungry, it's gonna eat you. It's not gonna say, "Oh, you're a human." No, it's gonna say, "I smell meat, and I'm gonna eat you." So that's guaranteed.
Okay, so that's when they're in a deranged state, not in their right mind, right? So if everything
listen, it's a state of survival. It's a state of survival. A polar bear starving enough will eat his own cubs.
Yeah. So but it's not because we are the top. Humans are at the top of the food chain, so they wouldn't just eat a human just because. But I wouldn't put it past them if they're in a deranged state of mind.
We are not. Listen, that's another myth that we got to stop. We are not at the top of the food chain because if you take away our weapons, okay, and our capability of building like walls and all that, just put us out there with the animals. Just throw us out there with the lions, tigers, and bears. Oh my, we will not survive. Okay, we are not the top of the food chain. We can't just use these against them. They got strength. You hear me? They got muscles. They got a tiger can jump. That's why Tigger on Winnie the Pooh, how he used to bounce. That was just saying that a tiger can. It's the only animal that can jump without running, without doing anything, just jump 10 feet. A tiger can jump 10 feet. So if you walking by and you 10 feet away and he's hiding, crouched down, you
Mm-hmm.
got. You got. That's why they made Tigger the bouncer, because a
Mm-hmm.
tiger can bounce 10 feet. You feel me?
Yeah.
So we can't do that. Can't no
Right.
man on this planet just jump 10 feet. So they got special powers. They can see better than us. They can hear better than us. They can smell better than us. We are not at the top of the food chain. No, we at the top of the bully chain. Yeah. Well, we at
The
the top of
bully
the bully
thing.
chain. We bully every. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Reword that to the bully chain, but we ain't at the top of the food
Right.
chain at all. But what I
That's
was
good
saying
to
though is
know.
that like like apes. People thought that apes just eat leaves and bamboo. I mean, not bamboo, but leaves and stuff like that, and berries and bananas. Apes eat meat too. They go out on troop hunts. When the pack go out to hunt, they eat the monkeys with the tails. See, it's a difference. The ape has no tail. A monkey has a tail. So the apes will go out when they want some meat and go capture the monkeys with the tails
Mm-hmm.
and invade their village and eat them. I watch a lot of National Geographics,
Yeah.
but what I'm just saying is that we not designed just to eat like fruits and vegetables and like greenery. We're not herbivores.
I'm
You know
gonna
what I'm
introduce
saying?
y'all to a bit more. There's a reason why they have Dr. Sebi, and there's another natural doctor, Dr. Jonathan Fortier. As a matter of fact, he lives in California, and I want you guys to know a little bit more about that because it's half and half. Um, people actually they be the healthiest ones that actually don't eat meat. There's a lot of people, and a lot of people get off of meat for health wise as well too. Now the problem is this.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm not knocking meat in general, but it's the way people intake their meat. You know good and well you're not supposed
Yeah,
to be fried. People know good and well they're not supposed to be frying their food like that, especially in the South. They deep
not at
fry
all.
everything. I seen them deep fry collard greens. I mean, put it on the skillet. Like, why
They
do you need to fry collard greens?
Man, the South batter and butter everything.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
that's
it's,
like
it's
that's like
mhm.
listen. The worst foods to eat is Mexican food and soul food. Okay, that stuff will
Mhm.
destroy your arteries. That will
Mhm.
give you diabetes, high blood pressure. Them foods will destroy you.
And
You
that's
feel
why
me?
Big Mama is
Oh,
the new
Italian,
norm.
uh, Italian
Italian
food
food?
too. It'll destroy you. All that pasta, you'll be fat. You'll be,
Oh
oh
yeah.
God,
Yeah,
you man.
bread and pasta is the number one cause of cellulite, women. I'm just saying, if you got the little extra
Mm-hmm,
fruits that you don't like, bread and pasta, which I
mm-hmm.
love both. I'm talking to myself as well. I love bread and I love pasta. But anyway, yeah, that's just like
Mm-hmm.
if you have too much intake of that.
Listen, I ate a lot of food. All my baby mamas is foreign. Shout out to my baby mamas. They all foreign. So I know a lot about the right, what I'm saying, being what's something, anyway, I've damn near been around the world. So I tasted a lot of food, and the most healthiest food to me was that I tasted was African food, number one. That food you can live forever. And Asian food, you can live forever.
So what about Thai food? I think Thai food is the cleanest food
That's
that I've
Asian.
had.
That's Asian.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
so there
Asian.
you go. Okay.
I
Hmm.
said African and Asian. I covered it
Okay.
all. Even Hawaii, like that. I'm talking about all that. Pacific Islanders, all that.
Hawaii for real? I thought
Man, you can nah, they
I
got
never
good
had
food.
Hawaiian food.
Without the pork though. Without the pork, they eat a lot of pork. I mean, they eat everything off the pork. So
Mm.
you know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, it's been good, man. We ain't we educated the people
Yeah,
for a
we at
good
the
hour
hour mark.
straight.
We at the hour mark,
Yeah.
you guys. So I just hope that you guys can get a good intake on this and like, share, and
Hope it was
subscribe to the channel, you
I hope it
guys.
was useful. I hope it
Yes, I
was
hope
useful. Shout out PDI, aka PDA, Purpose
so.
Driven Amy, Purpose Driven Inspirations. Like and subscribe to her channel. All she trying
Yeah,
to do is connect everybody. You know what I'm saying? We just be on here talking positive, no negative vibes, no spunk, no funk. You feel me?
yeah,
We do this in the mornings to raise awareness and values, morals. What else?
Hmm.
Esteem. We're trying to raise
Hmm.
everything. We want everybody high. We want everybody winning. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? If you're suffering from depression, we'll pray for you. We are too, so pray for us.
And I
Remember to
want
be
you,
a community.
yes.
You
And I
feel me?
want you guys
No
to know,
independency.
yes, I want you to know that you're not alone. And I don't have to know you, but I'm big on saying I love you with the love of Christ. And whatever you want to talk
Hmm.
about, we are here. We are a family. And if you tuned in and only watch one episode, you still my family. So you stuck with me. I want you to know that.
Hmm.
And whatever you guys want to
Hmm.
talk about, feel free. If you want to be a guest on the show, I got you. You can inbox me. Never be afraid to be yourself.
Hmm.
So we're gonna actually, as he was saying, we're gonna go live in the morning time, 9 a.m. PT, 11 a.m. Central Standard Time, where I'm at, and 12 noon Eastern on the East Coast, North Carolina, Florida, New York, all y'all, New Jersey. It's actually
Shout
12 noon
out.
on
Shout out.
Wednesday, if you guys want to tune in.
Hmm.
So, but don't forget to turn the notification bell on so you can get the notification so you can interact and come on.
Like I do. I get the
Yes,
notification and I get to get on the show. But man,
definitely.
shout out to all the people that's rocking with us on here, you know what I'm saying? And
Yes.
also y'all can catch me, y'all can add me on IG, Instagram at
Mhm.
Powerball Rich. You feel me? You can hit me on Facebook at Powerball Rich. You
Yeah.
can hack in and catch me on the EBH Black Show with
Yeah.
Powerball Rich, the co-host.
Shout
Like and
out to Freeze
subscribe.
TV. He be on
Shout
Freeze
out to
TV
Free
too.
TV.
Yeah. So y'all
Yeah,
go
yeah,
check him
I
out
got
too.
interviews on there. Check me out on
Yeah.
Free TV, like and subscribe, and check me out on Speed Bump Records, like and subscribe. I'm trying to get mine
He's
to a
on
thousand
record.
too, like please.
Yeah.
I never really rock on there, but I'm gonna start rocking on there hard. You feel me? So
Yes.
you know what I'm
I'm telling you,
saying,
you
and
guys
then
will
check
love
my
it.
music out.
Hmm.
Check my music out. You know what I'm saying? I'm probably one
Share
of the
it,
last Mohican
subscribe,
that's
and buy the music. I'm telling y'all,
mm,
I always tell him he the only rapper
what,
that I listen to. So if he got me listening to rap, then you know it's good. But yeah, I
yeah, it's
appreciate you
real.
guys. Watch the
Yeah,
rerun
it's
and
real.
give us y'all input, and we will meet up with you guys again next Wednesday the same time. But we're gonna try to come Wednesdays and Fridays soon. We'll let y'all know. We'll update y'all a little
Hmm.
bit later. So I hope you all have a blessed day. Thank you for tuning in to Purpose Driven Inspiration with co-host Powerball Rich. Y'all have a blessed day.
Gang, man. Bless.